YouTube, I'm back with another video. Um, After I made that video at the track the other day, bam. Now I'm going to tell you why this happened. And I did call Horizon. I told them about it. I didn't complain from the standpoint as I want them to fix it or replace it. I mean, I kind of take responsibility for it because the first, day and a half that I was there, the car wasn't perfect. So we had a few crashes, nothing major, some pretty big bobbles, but, nothing like head on into a wall or nothing. More or less just, cartwheeling the car and, getting the wheel nut caught up on the pipe ridges. And that's pretty brutal as well. But when they tell you to build the kit, they want you to use this. And this thing looks like it's a good idea, but it's not as soft and forgiving as you might think, as from the standpoint of how much can you actually compress this thing. You know what I mean? You're not going to get that thing to move but maybe a couple millimeters. So anyway, here we go again with the camera tricks. But you can see how it's got those ridges in it from where it was deformed from being inside the servo saver. The problem that I noticed is this thing is a lot bigger than, it's a lot bigger than, it's hard to see, but it's got like a little raised portion under here that the spring, it's like a pocket. Okay, bottom line is don't use this, okay, because it made my steering, the servo saver, stick. Because it was catching and rubbing, it wasn't allowing it to move free. So if the servo saver actuated, it wouldn't click back into place. So, for example, if I hit a pipe and you put the steering back in neutral, the car would like veer off to one side like it was broke. So you have to grab the car, grab it by the wheel, and like jam it back into. So I ran this. This comes with the spring and this, and I think the kit tells you to use this, but do not use it. Okay. It caused me to really ratchet down. I mean, you could see where I was just reefing on this thing, something awful. And now I've got it set with the spring. Use the spring in the kit because it comes with that spring and that. Just don't. I don't know what you can do with this. Maybe toss it or whatever you want to do. Just don't use it, okay? It's not going to work. And then, we broke this, and okay, now that I've got the spring on there, I can actually hold the steering servo arm here and take the wheel, and you can actually watch this thing visually work the right way. But anyway, my whole reason for making this video was I've had the Losis forever. Okay, I just had the 8-scale buggies forever because they always were reliable. And I just started to ask myself, is this something that's going to be an issue in the future for these guys? I mean, that just, to me, that looks thin when you compare it to other kits. And we're gonna take a look at a couple of the kits here. But this is partly my fault because of having that over tightened. I mean, I even broke a fucking servo horn, but it was a really cheap, flimsy, thin one. So, but here's the biggest problem. This isn't such a big issue. I'm partially to blame for this. The biggest problem is right here. $66? I don't think so, man. Now, you're just pricing your average everyday guy right out of this stuff, which is exactly what I am. So, you can see, what they look like. Now, let's take a look at some other kits. Let's go to, Kyosho's came out with this new MP10. Looks like a nice car. What are parts? Option parts. I don't feel like fiddling through all these pages real quick here. Doesn't look like go back. I know I just saw him here a second ago. If I click on that, okay. Now they won't even show up. Anyway, I mean, oh, that's dicked. Now they won't even pop up. But at the end of the day, the other kits, they're making these a lot better. Okay, I mean, I just went through this and I looked at these other kits. I'm almost going as far as saying, boys, it might be time to jump ship because this hot bodies is looking nice. The problem with the hot bodies though is, I mean, a few years ago, they almost went out of business, and, you know, good luck finding anything. They're constantly changing their shit, so, you know, once they switch, and now, next thing you know, you can't get parts for the stuff no more, so, but I seen some stuff online. It looked legit. It looks really nice. And durable. Hot Bodies was one of the most durable cars right along with the Losi. I mean, that was like the big selling point. In my opinion, you know, to me, looking at that aspect of stuff, Hot Bodies probably makes the most durable cars aside from the Losi. I can't believe that won't pop up, man. Nitro kits. And it was just there. It's a conspiracy, boys. I'm not seeing them now. They're there. Now at the bottom here, it shows other shit. I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to get all off track here. If you look at the other Kyosho stuff and the hot bodies, anything that has a steering knuckle, obviously the X-Ray and the Mugen and the Associated, they have a pillow ball deal, so they're not going to have stuff like this, but I mean, $66. Why don't you make a plastic one? You know what I mean? Like, you know, it doesn't have to be made out of aluminum. Okay, so this is what happened. Like I said, it's partially my fault, but, you know, I never broke any of my other cars, and I'm sure I was, you know, just as prone to making mistakes as I was with this. I mean, I had all my other shit locked down, to be honest with you. I don't like a lot of steering, servo, saver, motion. I want that thing locked in. So anyway, I put the spring in there, and now it works like it's supposed to. And that one's actually pretty tight as well. But I got this techno horn. I mean, who do you think you're dealing with? Look at that thing. Yeah. And then another thing was this 6290. Dude, I cannot believe how smooth that thing is. I was like $130. I didn't have a ton of cash on me when I was at the hobby shop. I was like, I'll get that one. You know, it looks nice. It's all aluminum. You know, because the problem with steering or throttle and brake servos is that you always stall them when you hit the brakes. You know what I mean? You know, your steering servos, there's not really much opposing them except for the force of the car. This, I mean, you gotta, it's when you engage the brakes, it's like stalling the servo, so it's drawing amps, a lot of amps. So they get warm, and they're prone to fail. And when you fail, you lose control of your car. That's a problem. So this one's all aluminum, and the specs are legit. You know, another thing too is everybody wants to have the best specs in the world. You guys gotta understand something. You get the specs of what you need. You know, I've had steering servos that are so good, I end up dialing in like 20% of the speed right out of them with my radio. So I think to myself, why would I even buy something that fit? That's what I'm starting to realize is. So my favorite numbers have always been 0.07. To point, see, like 0.10, I can tell they start getting slow. But 0.0, like I've had the ones that are 0.05 in speed, and they're just too fast. I mean, maybe in 10 scale two-wheel drive on the steering when you need to correct the car, you know, because everything happens so quick with those little cars, that might be better. But with an 8 scale, you can't slide that throttle slide open so fast because the engine and the fuel delivery doesn't even have time to catch up with it. Next thing you know, you just got a big open hole in your carburetor and there's not enough fuel to support it. It'll just bog. You get what I'm saying? The theory behind that? It's not like you have fuel injection system where every little tiny thing that happens, it's right there to respond. The fuel system is not elaborate. Okay, it doesn't, and it's not under like 60 psi like a fuel injection system. If you open that thing up too quick, it's not going to have the fuel there to support that amount of air that you're flowing now. It has to be somewhat gradual. So at the end of the day, what I'm saying is that, and another thing too with this servo is, if you can see in there, it has you can unplug that lead. And it made it nice because I can just slide this in and out without having to go in and, try to get the wire, you know what I mean? Weasel it in there. Now you can just drop it straight down. And then once you mount it, plug your lead into it and then run it to your box. It's got a nice lead with a little grommet around it, a little sleeve. So it's $130, and A-Main has them, but they're $150 or whatever. But I found them on eBay for $125, and they're pretty good. So, and what's nice about these too is you can call Horizon or even go on A-Main. You can get a gear set for them if you break them. You know what I mean? You can easily get these gear sets that go inside there if they're broken, or you can send them right back to Horizon. They might fix them for you. So, anyway, and then another thing too is I blocked out the name because I didn't want to put anybody on the internet that didn't know about it. I bought the knuckle and the caster block. The whole thing with all the parts, the hinge pins, acronym plates, nuts, everything, $66 from this guy. And the only reason why I'm even including him in the video is because he got it to me in 3 days. He's probably been the fastest shipper I've had. Everybody seems to take 5, 6, 7 days. They ship it to you slow as fuck. Like, the guy tried to work a deal on me or whatever, and now he's getting it in 10 days. Fuck him. Okay? No. I ordered this thing a couple days ago. I was even surprised to see it in the mailbox. So RC Waffle, thumbs up, buddy. I'm going to be buying more stuff. Problem is, I think they buy kits and break them down to sell them, which is fine. So it's not like they're going to have a whole stock of this shit. I probably just bought the last stuff he's got until he buys another one, which is fine. I don't care. They were there when I needed them this time. But like I said, I called Horizon. They were cool about it. I didn't complain too much. I just told them I thought it would be a better idea based on just what other people are doing. I mean, look how thin that is. And it just, look where it broke. See how clean of a break that is? That just, when they're clean broken off like that, there can be something done to reinforce this a little bit more. It's not like it ripped it back to here. It didn't. It broke it clean off of where this thing is. So, I think that they need to make this a little bit heavier wall. A little heavier wall in there, because it just looks thin. I was looking at the other kit, and I don't know why this shit won't pop up now. As soon as you do a video and want to check this shit out, but I was looking at the other kits. I mean, they're done a little bit better. Okay, just all the bullshit aside, they're all about the same price. So why would you spend the same price on something we know doesn't work as well? And I'm not saying don't get this kit, because to be perfectly honest with you, man, the car runs good. Holy shit, I like it. It's not like I said, we went through other videos and we talked about it. I'm not going to get into all of it now, but it's working good, and I'm just hoping that they're not going away from their durability, because that's the only reasons that really kept me with them. That and their part support. So anyway, that's a video on what happened to the rig. She's busted. It's fixed now though. Just put it on. And then don't use this. It calls for it in the kit. Do not use that. Use the chrome spring. Okay. And check out these servos. If you guys are in the market, you need a servo. I mean, I'm not disappointed with it whatsoever. What I liked about it originally, it's so smooth. I was surprised at how smooth that little servo is, buddy. For 130 bucks, I feel like I won big times. And then thumbs up to this person. They had a lady's name on there, but I don't. Maybe she's just the one that shipped it. But RC Waffle on eBay, check them out. Quick shipping. Got me my stuff for 66 bucks. For 66, all you get is this shit from these guys. He gave me all the parts I actually needed because this was busted. Came with it. Pow. Bam. All the hardware intact. Which is cool, because if one of these falls out again and I lose the shit, I'll have more. Anyway, I think I pretty much talked about the stuff that I wanted to get out was this. Alright guys, later.